What's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Elite, and welcome to another Trading Tuesday market update video. The markets have not been looking good for the past few months. Hopefully you sold. If you didn't, don't worry. We're all in this together. Everyone's down significantly, so you're not alone. But with saying that, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future, so definitely stick around, and hopefully you could get some insight on the best ways for you on how to actually play the markets. However, I'm not a financial advisor, and everything on this channel is for educational purposes only, so you need to make up your own mind and your own decisions when it comes to your finances. And so without wasting any time, let's jump right into the market update. Okay, so first thing I want to mention is that I posted a video yesterday. I think it's really good. If you have not watched that, I highly recommend watching that. And also, I have been posting basically that, the market's been looking real bad and I've been selling over the past couple weeks. So hope you've been listening in that regard. The other thing that I want to do is basically just go over a lot more coins. Oh yeah, and pretty much I'm going to be looking at the coins against USD, but from now on, I'm also going to be looking at them against Bitcoin, because the thing is, during bear markets, obviously Bitcoin goes down a lot less than altcoins, and during bull markets, Bitcoin goes up a lot less than altcoins as well. So altcoins in bull markets outperform Bitcoin. However, in bear markets, altcoins, they drop way more and you lose a lot more value compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So once certain coins reach a low enough level against Bitcoin, that is, to me, more indicative of where I would really want to get back in. And so I was just messing around right here, and this is actually a good, pretty good example. I'm looking at Polkadot right now, and I could see DOT against Tether. It's, it has another 14 to 26% to go against Tether, for example. And against Bitcoin, it could go down 8% all the way down to 40%. Like, it could go pretty freaking low. So yeah, it's like if it reaches like down here, like this level against Bitcoin, then the risk to reward, or the potential for gain, for different, DOT, for example, this is the example of DOT, would be too good for me to continue to just stick with Bitcoin. I'd want to be more in alts. And I'll explain all this in a lot more detail later down the road, and probably later in this video as well. But yeah, I do think that denominating against Bitcoin is a pretty good idea. What you want to do, and I'll explain this to you right now, is that what you want to do during bull markets, basically, is denominate against Bitcoin. Why is that? It's because you want to make sure that you are outperforming Bitcoin, okay? So here we go. Bull markets, I don't know why this is blue, but it is what it is. What we're going to do is we're going to change it to white. Bull markets, denominate against Bitcoin, okay? Bear markets, bear markets, right? Denominate against USD. Why is that? It's because if you denominate against Bitcoin in bear markets, then you'll be going in and out of Bitcoin and alts. However, Bitcoin will also go down. So you will lose value on your alts, and you'll also lose value on your Bitcoin. Also, you can't really short alt Bitcoin pairs. You can only short perp swaps and futures. So those are only against USD anyway. So really, you have to denominate against USD in bear markets. However, here's the catch. If there was a big, bull market or whatever like this, right? Then eventually, and before it turned around, then when do you switch from denominating in USD? So, trading against USD. Where do you switch from trading against USD to trading against Bitcoin? Well, you would do it, once we reach a level that is, to me, about the 88% level So yeah, right around like right here, this is where I would start trading it against Bitcoin, and I would start basically accumulating Bitcoin. And then what would happen, what I would like to happen is, let me do this right quick. Boom. What I'd want to see is something like this, and then finally, boom, fall down, up, bounce, bounce. And then once like this happens, like right around here, like this area, that's where I would really want, that's where I'd be like, okay, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, because by the time this happens, Bitcoin has fallen as well. Bitcoin has probably fallen drastically by the time this happens, because this is alts. We're saying that this is the life cycle of altcoins against Bitcoin, right? And then once it falls down 88%, that's when I would want to be go back into Bitcoin. And then once I see this happening, that's when I would want to start going back into alts, pretty much. Or maybe even before this happens, I'd want to start getting back into alts. It's just I would definitely want to see alts fall a lot before I get back into them and trade them or hodl them. And once this happens, and once we do turn around, it's typically a good idea to hold a lot more. So basically, let me see if I could do this. I will take my altcoins. Okay, so alts, investment account, or what I'll do is I'll take my investment account, right? And what I'll do is trading account. What I'll do is I will have more in my investment account. I'll be more heavy in my investment account. So let's say 80% investment account down here, 20% trading account down here. However, as the price starts moving up, then it's going to start going, maybe 70%, 30%, and then maybe like 50-50, and then maybe like 60, maybe 40-60, as the price keeps on moving up. And we get higher and higher and higher prices. That's when I want more and more money in my trading accounts, so that I could start hedging my bets and things like that. But once prices start coming down to like certain levels, and I'll just bring this up on the weekly chart and just show you right here. Like actually, you can't really do that. I guess I'll use Link as an example. Once things get to fall to a certain price, then you're better off pretty much holding. Wow, I'm looking for like 2018, So let me put this up here, do this, there you go, do this, there you go, here it is. So yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Like, this was Link, right? So 2017, it had a huge run up. By the way, my bars are switched. It's just a psychological thing. I find it to be very helpful when you have the red bars moving up and the green bars moving down in bear markets, and then you flip it during bull markets. So yeah, this was like Link, right? And it went up, 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 up. When do you want to start? And then it's fine holding from here to here. You want to hold from here to here. But once it starts getting to this level, maybe instead of holding all of it, you do 80-20%, right? 80% investing, holding, 20% trading. And then once it gets to like this level, maybe you'll do like 50-50. And then once it gets up here, maybe you'll do like 60% in your trading account. But by the time it gets, all the way up here, and then probably like falls a little bit, you'd want, or after it has a fucking this ridiculous 100% move in a week, right? Then you'd probably want all of it, 90% of it in your trading, or 100%, to be honest. If you want to maximize, you want 100% in your trading capital, so that you could switch your bias to be a bearish bias and start shorting, and then you could short from here down, right? But it's like, okay, where do you want to start to allocating more into your investment portfolio? Well, if I'm looking at this chart right here, let's say that none of this happened, only this happened, then this bar, and you could see the wick down and then the wick back up. So what I would do is I would still be in trading mode, and I'd be trading this week, and I'd be trading this week, and then I'd be trading this week. However, once it hits this price level, then I would start to invest. I would start to put money in, right? So I would start averaging in here, and then I would just start averaging in, so put average in here, average in more, average in more, average in more, and I would just keep on averaging in here. So I would average in, and I would not there, but here. So I would average in, and I would just continually average in, and honestly, like, I would be up significantly, down significantly, up significantly, down significantly. By the time it reached this level, I'd be at a loss. Let's say I'd be at a 40% loss or something like that at this level. However, can you imagine just holding it all the way up and then all the way back down, and or buying more here and here and here and here and here for investing? If you did that, you could be 80, 90% down. So yeah, even if you waited weeks and weeks and weeks, you'd 75% down, 70% down, 60% down. So as opposed to waiting for good prices to be an investor, then you'll still be down. So this is for you. This is also for me to recognize, look, you could have absolutely phenomenal entry positions in your investment account, and you could still be down 40%. And still it could be good, because obviously we all know what happened is down the road, it did this and went up like crazy. But like, let's say you had an average position, from down here, because you waited and waited and waited, and then you started to invest and invest and invest. You didn't really catch the average, the Pico bottom, but you caught a very good bottom, or you got a very good price. Well, from that price to this price, it's 1,300% gain. How about if you just were buying and buying and buying, and your average price was much higher because you did not transfer your money over to your trading account and short, or you did not transfer money over your trading account, or you pull money out of the market or whatever. Well, now instead of 1,300%, it's 530%. Big difference. Twice as much money, because or 3 times as much money, 3 times as much money, because you waited to invest, and then you invested down here instead of just buying and continuing to buy and then getting an average buying price of around the middle. But instead you waited and then you started buying much lower. But remember, you still experienced a 22, 32, 40% drawdown. Where's the drawdown right here? 28, 30% drawdown, right? 32%, 40%. So you could experience huge drawdowns even if you get into coins at exceptionally good prices. And so you got to understand that, psychologically speaking, speaking psychologically, because, I'm looking at KDA, right? Let's take this as an example. Using this as an example, where's my average buy-in price that I want, my ideal buy zone? My ideal buy zone is down here at $1, between $1 and $2. So let's say $1.50, right? Well, it could go from I could lose 50% from my average buy-in price. However, if let's just say, for example, that KDA does really, really well next year or whatever, that's thousands of percent. That's 1,200%, 1,300% before I sell. Well, not necessarily before I sell, but that I would expect, for the next cycle. So you can't have everything in your investment account if you need it. That's the other thing to really, really understand. If you put money into your long-term investing account, even if you put money into that account at the lows, or at very, very low prices, 80% off, 85% off, you can't depend on that money, because you could lose another 50% of it from that price. Okay, so that's the time. Let's say it comes down here, right? Let's say it comes down here, I buy it, and I'm not even saying that I'm necessarily going to buy a lot of KD. I'm going to buy very, very little. It's going to take up 1% of my portfolio, maybe 2% of my portfolio. But let's say you do that, or ADA or whatever, right? Then if you end up needing that investment money, that money for investing, you're screwed. You're totally screwed. So that's why I need that, and that's why I always recommend having a trading account and an investing account. And so maybe the prices come down. Let's say the prices come down, right? And you're siphoning money from your trading account into your investing account, as the prices go down, so that you could start investing at good prices and good levels, right? Like all down here. Let's say you get in for Cardano against Bitcoin right here, and then it falls down another 34%. Do you need that money? Because you'll be screwed if you need that money. So you also have to take into account if you need the money or not, if you're going to need the money or not, because maybe you can't afford to take everything from your trading account and take more from your trading account and put it into your investing account. Maybe you need the money for trading, because for me, I trade. I need the money for trading. Like, I make money by trading, and that's what I do, like, to live, So, like, I need it. So if I have a huge expense or something, then I'm not going to be able to put it into my investments. I'm going to have to just pull it out of my trading account. But once we get into like zones, like zones down here, even starting from the 78.6 up here, and I start putting money into it, into different coins, I don't really want to touch them. I'm almost considering putting them on a hardware wallet. And I'll tell you this straight up. That's exactly what I did for Quant Network. That's exactly what I did for Quant Network. You can't see it here, but let me pull the chart up. Okay, so here's the chart for Quant, and I bought it like back here in 2018, 2019, right? And I put that in a hardware wallet, and I did not touch it. And thank God. I was getting aggravated as hell during this entire time. I wanted to sell this entire time, especially like right here, because Quant Network just sucked. The price action sucked for Quant Network. Like, it was not going up. But in this time, like everything was mooning. Everything was going up like 50x right here. And I had to wait until literally like so late for Quant to actually do anything. And yeah, so that was really good. And I'm sure that same thing is going to happen where, you'll put money into a coin and it won't do jack. It won't do anything until and everything else will, and you'll get so bored. And I could just imagine myself selling like here, or selling like here, saying like screw it, like everything else is mooning, but Quant's sucking, so I sell right here. But like, no, you make money holding long-term investments. That's where you get wealthy. Yeah, that's a big thing that I'm doing. Wanted to share that, and I will share exactly when I'm buying and most things, and when I'm really putting more money into my investment portfolio and stuff. As I mentioned last week, I sold everything for like USD. I'm just sitting in USD right now. I probably have like 2% of my account in coins. Like, I'm just very, very, very slowly buying cryptos, but for my investment account. But I'm not like really going in hard or anything like that. I'm not really going in super heavy. So now that we got that out of the way, I think we should start with the actual update. Okay, so let's go into the fundamental indicators. Starting off, Bitcoin Bull Run Index, it's at 32. And obviously, it's not, I want it to come down here. That's where I'm really trying to go in hard into cryptocurrencies. So doesn't really tell me too much. Then we have the MVRVZ score, not yet in the green. So it's not a buy for me yet. Our hodl ratio, same thing. Same thing with the Bitcoin rainbow chart. I would love it to come down into the buy territory. That would be awesome. Then I would absolutely buy if it gets down here. Right now, it is in the accumulate territory, which is pretty good. But I would love to see it just drop down to 26. Yeah, 26K. I mean, that's my super buy. Although 30K is definitely a buy zone as well. Then we have the fear and greed index. Yeah, of course. I don't know what I was doing. It's at 27 right now. I want it to be under 15 when I buy. So the fact that it's 27, it doesn't really tell me anything, to be honest. In fact, I'm a little surprised it's 27 and 28 because things, are going down. So yeah, I would think that it would actually be a lot more than that. We have funding rates are, let's see, does this want to load? This is not really loading, so I will get back to you when this loads. Okay, so yeah, funding is negative, which is good for longs. Well, wait a minute. What? Why is ETH and BTC positive on these two exchanges? I don't understand it. And why is Doge positive on OKX? OKX is like doing some weird stuff over here. But regardless, there is I mean, it's negative, but of course it's negative. Everything's in the red. So yeah, of course they pay you to long. So that honestly doesn't really say that much. I don't it's only good for like a certain situations. So the next thing we got is the crypto total market cap. This is what I posted on April 18th and what I posted last time, I believe. So we have this, and this is the daily, right? So this is 61.8. This was like the last opportunity for it to bounce, and it fell below there. And that was the big reason why I ended up getting out the other week, is because that's exactly what happened. I said this was the last opportunity to fell, and then it fell below, and I said, oh shit, it fell below, sell everything. So boom, sold it. It had a little tiny bounce, but then obviously crashed back down. So now I'm honestly sort of waiting until the total market cap, like this is a level, I get it, like the total market cap, this is a level, but really my level, my buy zone, I want this. I really want it to wick. I really want this buy zone down here at like 1.53 trillion dollars. I just don't think that this level of 1.64 is gonna hold. I'm not convinced, and that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, I want this level of 1.53, and ultimately what would be the best is this level is 1.22, 1.23. This would be the level if the total market cap got down here. This is the equivalent of like the CBBI reaching like 10 or 5 or 4 or something like that, and like the equivalent of like the MVRVZ score going in the green. Like if the total comes down to 1.227, like that's where I want to go in, all into crypto. I don't care what prices anything are at. I want to be in here, right? So that's the total market cap. Then we have total 2, which is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So everything for all of the altcoins. And I did this on April 11th. Right now it is like May 3rd or something like that, May 4th. So I really want to get into alts. This is another time that I'm really going to get into alts is at $663 billion. So let's press the play button. Holy shit, we're not even close. So yeah, we have a long way before if it hits here, before it hits here. I think it's gonna hit here. I still think it's gonna hit here. And this was actually, this was something I wrote. I put this all the way up here. Like I said that if it's gonna come down here, I will buy it. And that was when the coins were all the way up here back in May of 2021. We're at all-time highs and we started going down. I was like, oh shit, we're going down to the gutter. Where am I gonna buy? I'm gonna buy right here. I actually just looked up a video from like months and months and months, from 11 months ago. I looked up a video, and that's what I said it was gonna be. I was gonna buy here, so I bought here, saying the same exact thing now. If cryptocurrencies, if the total market cap comes down here, automatic buy from me. Don't care where anything is, what price anything is. But this also goes to show that there's a long way for it to come back down. Right here is a great buy zone. It is a great buy zone for scalping, and I would buy here, but I would not hold everything here. I want to see this level here. That's what I want. So that's that. Then we have the altcoin dominance. So altcoin dominance is very indicative of what the market is doing. Somehow, the altcoin dominance, like money still flows into alts, which is absolutely ridiculous. And the dominance levels are somehow at 57%. Don't ask me. I want to see them down here at 55%. I want more money flowing into Bitcoin. It would be amazing if there was a Bitcoin plus Ethereum dominance level, or I guess dominance chart, and we were able to see what the dominance of Bitcoin plus Ethereum is compared to all of the other altcoins, because I think there is now sentiment pretty much across the board that it's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Of course, it's not across the board. There are Bitcoin maxis. There are other, people that are only, going to Bitcoin. But for the vast majority of people who use common sense, I think it's Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're good with that, right? So we have the Bitcoin dominance chart for alts, and then we have the Bitcoin dominance charts for just Bitcoin. And this goes up in bear markets. So in bear markets, it goes up, and then in bull markets, it comes down. So it is currently right around 42.39%. So I'm going to be waiting until this area is hit. So it's like on all of these charts, I have like, this is the chart. This is the area of the dominance level that I want to get into alts, right? I have that down. I also have it down here. This is the level where I want to get into alts in case altcoin dominance comes down here. This is the level that I want to get into alts if the total market cap of altcoins comes down here. So I have all of these things plotted out well in advance, right? So I'm not going to freak out. And that also is like why I was more comfortable selling, is because like, I'm like, damn, they could come down here. Like they could totally come down here. Why not? Although now that I'm actually thinking about it, I don't know if I want to get in, wait to get in all the way down here. I'd probably want to get in up here at like 700 billion, like front run this a little bit and be okay with front running. It's always scary front running. I front ran Ethereum at $110 because I thought that everyone was going to buy it at $100. So I bought it at 110, and then it ended up going down even further to $80. And I remember being really, really pissed because I put a little bit of money into a leveraged position at $110, and I got liquidated because it went down to $80 before, going on its run. And that's why also down there at these positions, you don't want to trade use leverage. You absolutely don't want to use leverage because you don't know what could happen. There might be a wick, a capitulation wick after the capitulation wick. There might be a wick down even further just for like literally 1 hour, not even, maybe like 20 minutes going down and then coming back up, and that could wick you out. It could totally wick you out. And then there might be another one. You might say, okay, that's cool, because that's what happened with me. Things were, it was like $100, and then it went down to like $90, and it wicked down to $90, and then wicked all the way back up to 105. And I said, all right, boom. And I went in, and then there was a wick down to 80, and then it wicked back up. And that's what stopped me out. So I thought I was doing good waiting until the wick down and the candles happened. But no, it was literally, actually, it looked a lot like this right here. So just imagine that this is, your favorite altcoin, or if it's Ethereum, and Ethereum, it drops to $90 and then pumps all the way back up here. And now it's at like $105. And you're like, okay, awesome, I'm going to buy it now. And you end up buying it right here. You get in at a great price, and then it starts to move up. You're doing good. It moves up, and then bam, and it wicks and it liquidates you down here at the bottom before shooting all the way up. That happens a lot in crypto. So once we get down, that's the other thing that I want to say. Once we get down into these ranges that I want to get into, that I want to see, that I start buying, like that's exactly why I put it into my investment account. Because if I'm trading that, I would have gotten stopped out right here. Like if I was a trader, right? Or if I was trading this. I probably wouldn't have gotten stopped out here. What would have happened is I would have used my stop loss timeout, and I wouldn't have got stopped out. I would have went all the way up, and then I probably would have raised my stop loss to break even or something like that. And then boom, got, stopped out right here. Or maybe I would have just kept my stop loss, and I would have kept it open, and then I would have got stopped out right here at the wick because this one was below this one. So to me personally, unless you have like a strategy that's super, super good and like it works for you, there's a reason why once prices come down to like certain levels, why I don't want to trade. I don't want to be like trading them. I want to like let them be and let them do their own thing, Otherwise I'm just going to I would get stopped out, and right, I know I would get stopped out right before the run up too as well. So that's why I transfer most of my money from my trading account to my investment account during like these green boxes, these low green boxes. That was a lot. I talked a lot right now. I think it's time to go into the actual market. So let's do that. I'm going to watch this video by Glassnode real quick, and I will let you know if I find anything interesting in it. Okay, this is pretty interesting. So this is saying that if Bitcoin falls only 10% down to $33,000, then the levels of people that are in the red will actually be similar to March 2020 levels. So that's crazy. That is like look at this. So when the price goes far below the bands, that's when a lot of people are, in their in the red, right? And so really, if we get down to 33,000, then the amount of people underwater, or the cost basis for the average person, is going to be much higher. So they will be underwater, similar on average to how they were in 2020. However, here's the difference. Look at this. Like, you could have huge. It would also be the same people that were underwater back in January, February of 2018, right? That's what I'm noticing. That's what I'm seeing. This huge level right here, right? So this was the 2020, but 2020 was also the same people were underwater back in this price. And yeah, we did have a big move up, but obviously we continued to trend lower and lower and lower, and then finally we broke down. So part of me really asks why I even look at on-chain metrics, because let's be real here. They have the most bias. They're so biased to whatever you want. They're subjective. They're not objective. So I look at this stuff, and I look at this stuff for fun, just to see if there's anything like eye-popping about it. But in all reality, like, I've been thinking about it more and more. Like, I've been watching these videos every week since December, and there's been nothing but bullish news, bullish, on-chain metrics, bullish. People are taking their money off exchanges, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And thank God I did not put a lot of emphasis on this. I put as much weight on on-chain metrics in my analysis as I put, as a freaking feather. Like, it's nothing. So I sort of wonder why I watch this. But I mean, I guess I do it. I'm considering doing it as maybe not as a counter indicator, but as just to see things that maybe I don't see. Maybe there's something that like I could see through these videos, or I see on-chain metrics, that I just won't recognize, because it's not like what I do, and I'm not in the trenches of on-chain metrics in Glassnode every single day, looking at the different metrics, other than the ones that I go through, like the CBVI, the MVRVZ score, the R hodl ratio, and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. But I'm gonna go back and watch this video and see if there's anything more that I could see. Okay, well, couldn't really find anything else that I cared about in that video. There was a lot of interesting information. Don't get me wrong, it was super interesting. Yeah, the more that I think about it, the more I realize like on-chain data doesn't do anything. So I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna look at the actual charts now and do some TA. Although I will say also right now, TA isn't really working very well either. It works in certain circumstances, but it definitely has not been the best as of late. At least the way that I do TA. I'm sure there's people who do TA that are really good at range bound TA and like all this other stuff, but for me, has not been working well. So I'm definitely having much lower position sizes. I tried one big position size on ApeCoin, and that had no bounce. It fell 40%. and then had an 11% bounce and then fell another like 20% or something like that. So yeah, I'm not really trying to do any too much trading. I'm trying to really focus on fundamentals right now. Like that's the most important thing until the total market cap or the different cryptocurrencies get into my buy zones that I'm very, very, very confident in, because or if they get into my sell zones that I'm very, very, very confident in. So I would love a bounce up. I would love to see a big bounce up, and maybe I'm not too involved in the bounce up, but I could short the coin and short the coin and do very well on it on the fall down. And if you have not seen my last video, definitely go watch my last video, because I tell you exactly what coins to short that have the highest probability of going down significantly. With that, let's start off with the charts. I already went over these big ones right here, but I just want to do it one more time because I have to publish them and then put them into the VIP. So I want to do that right now. This is the total market cap chart. We had the yearly open and close up here, and the other yearly open and close was all the way down here. I don't really see us going below $1 trillion at this point. So like I mentioned, if we come down here for the total market cap, would love to build, just go in here. I'd probably just like go all in right here. I think that would be a great move. And let's see, 61.8 was here, hit the 61.8, try to have a move up, couldn't sustain it, fell back below. That I don't like that at all. If this move was bullish, was actually bullish, we wouldn't come. I don't see it coming all the way back down. Why would it make any sense that we would come all the way back down and then go all the way back up again? That would be so weird if it did that. Imagine this. Imagine this. It comes all the way down here and then literally comes all the way back up again, like immediately. No, we came down here, we bounced, we fell below it. And then we had the wipeout wick, and then we moved all the way back up. That would make a lot more sense to fall down here, bounce up here, maybe even if we do that, bounce around, fall down here, wick down here at least, and then zoom up. And I don't know if we would zoom all the way back up here, but zoom up to at least 1.9. That's my thesis on the total market cap. Moving to the daily chart, you can see that the MACD is very, very much higher than what it was before, which is a bullish divergence. However, it had the bullish divergence back here. There was a bullish divergence from here to here, and now there's another one from here to here to here. And it's like, it's the same thing as the RSI. Basically, these are momentum indicators. So the momentum could still be down. They could stay oversold for a very, 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 very long time. Just like how in bull markets, it could be overbought for a very, very, very long time. So you can't really get caught up in these. So I'm really trying to use these indicators as much. They're not the best indicators to use, even though because they really aren't. I mean, this right here was a clear, a clear bullish divergence. Sorry, my brain just went dead right for that second. But look, it went up 5% after a 16% drop, and then it fell another 11-12%. So yeah, I'm not really looking into these too much unless we get some crash. I really want to look at more of the price action and the levels. And like I mentioned, could be a good level for scalping, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan right now. Would love to see it come down there. Or when we get to the Bitcoin chart, I will show you something might make a little bit more sense. The total 2, basically same thing. It hit the 61.8, bounced a few times, but such weak bounces. This is also why I'm super bearish, is because you should get a big bounce. So normally there's a bounce from the 61.8 to the 38.2, and if you take the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top, you can see we hit the 61.8, but we didn't even get to the 38.2. So wait, hold on a second, let me do that. Yeah. So we fell below it, and that is, to me, that's just so bearish. That is so bearish. And obviously, that's the big reason why I sold back here. But even with the 9% drop, I'm still not bullish. I'm not gonna. It's like this, it's like it hits here, falls down, jumps up. Are you going to be bullish here? Well, it's been it fell, it jumped up, it fell, it jumped up. I'm not going to be super bullish yet. It fell, down here, this was probably this was a good time to get bullish for sure. But then, you know, came back up, bounced off here. This was pretty good. This was actually a pretty good bounce. Would have loved to stay bullish right here, but then, you know, fell below. And then that was just like, you know, all right, forget about it. You know, it bottom. And then it was like, maybe, you know, maybe. And we did have the rally, but this was such a scary rally. Like, I don't know. This was just literally exit liquidity. And you could tell it was exit liquidity for everyone who was still in it because, look, it came right back down. So if this was, in my mind, I'm looking at this, I'm like, if this was exit liquidity for people, they're probably not going to buy back in right now. Like, they're probably going to buy in like lower than where they were selling, like by quite a substantial amount, like below this range, like at the next, or maybe even all the way down here. Like, who knows, you know? Maybe, you know, maybe if I bought right here, or if I was holding, and then like I started selling all the way up, I'd want to buy back here. But like, just the way the market is right now, I don't think that I would want to buy back in. You know what I'm saying? I would rather wait until it's like, oh no, I definitely need to buy back in. So that's just my thesis. This is my 2 cents, my 2 sats on the matter. I like this area because it's below this. This is an obvious longing area, right? Like down here. However, look at this weak bounce we got off of it. And then also, this is a big liquidity zone. This whole zone down here is a big liquidity zone. Everyone has their stops in here because people are buying right now, but then people have their stops. So it's probably going to, I would rather get in down here, you know, price comes down, stops everyone out, and then jumps back up. That's what I would rather do. Just what I'm thinking. Okay, so the next thing that I want to go over is the Bitcoin plus Ethereum market cap. So we have the Bitcoin like market cap, the Ethereum market cap. We have all that, right? But what I want to do is the Bitcoin plus the Ethereum market cap, because look at the Ethereum market cap. Like, this is what I drew out a long time ago. This trend line, resistance, broke above it, support, resistance, support, boom, broke out below it. This right here is the biggest reason on Ethereum why I'm bearish. This to me is extremely bearish. This is why I think we're going to go down. Yes, we might have like a 6% rise in the market cap up to here, but then I see us continuing to go down. This resistance is absolutely maniacal. So when it comes to this, I'm not like we are not in a good place. That's it. How about for Bitcoin plus Ethereum? What about that? Well, Bitcoin plus Ethereum, I didn't even chart this one out yet. So let's chart this one out. Well, wait, I guess I did. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin plus Ethereum chart. We got the high, we got the low, we got the lower high, and then we got this higher low. So we didn't know what was going on here. Got the boom, shakalaka bounce up here, swing, and then the sweep all the way back down, and a close below this previous high. So this was the sweep down, and then we got a pop up, and it just could not obviously function, right? So let me do this really quickly. Go down here. No, it was on the weekly. Let me check this out. This level is the level that it needed to break. And it just like, yeah, this was the huge selling pressure zone, right? Like right here, like obviously. But like, this was it. It couldn't get above it. And then it couldn't even reach it. It couldn't even get all. So yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know. This is bad. Same thing like the total market cap, came all the way back up, came all the way back down. It doesn't seem like yeah, it's slowing down, which is good, but it sort of seems like it's slowing down, gonna go sideways and then crash. That's what I think. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really make that much sense for it to reverse from here, in my opinion. Obviously, like, anything's possible, but I wouldn't like, you know, count on it or whatever. I'd rather, there's nothing even there. It's just, I mean, there's a low, a higher low, maybe there's a higher low, but to me, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this was the candle, this was the confirmation, and now it's continuing to go down. But maybe regular Bitcoin will show us something else. I already looked at the Bitcoin dominance, you know, same thing. This is a level, this is a level. Once it gets to either of these levels, that's when I want to go in. Let's just look at Bitcoin. Okay, sorry, had to do something really quickly, but I'm back and I'm looking at Bitcoin now. I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart. Now, what am I looking at right here? Let's take a big picture look. Yearly high, yearly open right here. This was the time. This, like, it closed above the yearly open. It looked so good right there. And then smashed all the way back down. Absolutely horrible. I thought we were, this was it. This was, okay, let's buy at 40K, get the big ass pump. Boom, get the big pump on the support, the diag support. Absolutely not. Sorry. Smashed right back down. Confirmation, the next leg down. Did not even get to the 37,000 lows. I think that a sweep of the lows right like where we are right now at 37,500, I think a sweep of those lows is definitely playable, and everyone will come in, and everyone has their buys right in this zone right over here from 3,700 to 37,500. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, I want to get in. I want to try to get in right here for a play at 3,500. How about that? Or actually maybe 36,450. Doesn't really matter. It's, $50 when you're talking about thousands. It's like 0.5% or like not even 1%, right? So this would be the level that I would want to long at. I think that something like this is going to play out where it will drop, fall, wick back up, possibly. If it, I don't know, I really can't if it'll do that. Eventually I do see this right as why did I I don't know why I just did that, why I used this when I could use this tool instead. It makes a lot more to use something like this, and I don't know. I'm totally making making something like this up right now. Actually, I don't think we'll get a retest like this, but I don't know. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense for the whales. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. But eventually down here, 30K. That's what I want down here. Boom. So that's how I'm playing it. I'll have orders in. At 30. I think 36. Yeah, I think 36,500. If I want to play it, 36,500 is the way to go. Okay, so sorry, I took my microphone out here. Now this should be better. All right, so just as a sorry about that. Just as a recap, general outlook, total market cap. I think total market cap will come down a little bit. Bitcoin plus Ethereum market cap. Personally, it's the same thing. Like this is the market cap lows. I would think that this would come down a little bit. Ethereum really assures me, in like just me personally, that if we do get a bounce, we're still going to get rejected really hard. So negative dominance levels for altcoins. Let's see, we got this basically low down here, this area. I guess we could bring this up a little bit. Low and a high. We're right in the middle, so it doesn't scream at me like, oh, buy. I don't want to like buy altcoins when the dominance of altcoins is turning around. And I mean, it sort of looks like it's, look at this. This looks like, doesn't this look like what Bitcoin did, where it came up, came down, came up a little bit higher, came down, and then came up? It looks like the redistribution phase so of Bitcoin before it, fell. So now it fell, it's getting the bounce. So I don't like the way alts are looking either. All right, so that's the dominance level. And then Bitcoin, obviously we just went over Bitcoin. So Bitcoin fell below here. Retested it, shot back down. Now it's near the support, but I think it's going to fall down even lower. So I'm not really looking into Bitcoin. Ethereum right now, like I just mentioned, boom. This was the major support right here, fell below it, retested it, fell back down, on its way down, and this is the bottom of the range. So let's just say that this is the range from the bottom, and we could say that this is the top right here of the range. Okay, so now we're pretty much at the top. It really makes no sense. It makes no sense to long, because if this is the top of the range, right? The first off, this is the mid range. This is obviously it's the middle of the range. This is the bottom. So obviously you would, if it pops up here, you would short, and if it pops above here, you would have a long bias. But it fell below here, so now you have a short bias. So yeah, I mean, I have a short bias until like down here, then I'll flip long. So that's Ethereum. Bitcoin, also mentioned. Boom. Slowed. Bring it up here. This is what I want to show you guys. Okay, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Let's look at the weekly chart on Ethereum versus Bitcoin, right? So Ethereum versus BTC on the weekly chart, you have this huge range, top resistance, 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 right? Excuse me, bring this back like this. And then it was somewhat of a support, like here and here and then here it was support. Okay, and then you have a huge support down here, right? So it's basically, this was a huge range, okay, and then it busted out of that range April, May of 2021. Okay, so this was really, really good, and this looks like a redistribution phase as well. Okay, so we had the highs, broke the highs, and swing failure pattern pretty much down below, back down below, retested it once, fell below, and now I guess we retested it again, and now we're falling back down again. So personally, I think that Ethereum is going to fall. This is another thing, another confluence with the Ethereum market cap chart. Even if it does pop up here, then the market cap of Ethereum would be coming up against a huge resistance. So I would want to sell, and then get out. So actually, okay, good. I do have an alert in here. I just need to make sure I had the alert in there. Okay, so the next thing that I look at is the DeFi perp, which is basically just an index of all the different DeFi coins. And it's hitting the support. So like, it's great support, and you want to buy at support. So maybe for the DeFi perp index or for other DeFi coins, they're at good support right now. I don't know. I'll have to check. But the issue I have with it being at the support here and buying here is that this is now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, this is on the way down, hitting it on the bottom after it hit it 5 times and moved up. This is after it moved up and then it came back down. I would rather of, like, you know, saw it coming down and then looked left, saw that this was a major support area, had a bunch of support all throughout this area, and then just bought it right here, right the first time that it hit, or, you know, even down here, like the second or third or fourth time that it hit. The fact that it's on its way back down again, though, and it's on the second time after hitting it a few times, makes me not very confident in thinking that it's going to hold. Also, notice how the first 2 times that it hit it, it just wicked and immediately got bought up. It wicked and it immediately got bought up. That means that there were tons of buyers down here at this price. It couldn't sustain being down at this price, so it just jumped up so quickly. Okay, now notice that this time, the second time or third time, I guess you want to say, that it fell down here, it sort of just was stagnant, and then it fell below it. There was not enough buyers over here, so it fell below it. But then underneath of here, there were a ton of buyers. And so a lot of the buyers swooped it up, came back up, and then, you know, it came back down, and it couldn't really sustain until finally we broke this huge, huge, huge trend line. And that was actually, like, this candle right here, after breaking this trend line, was a really good confirmation to go in, right? Now it fell. It didn't even have a wick. Like, I would have expected like a fall and then a wick up or something like that. But there's not even a wick. So it doesn't tell me that there's a lot of buyers here. And from, I guess, the only good thing that I learned from on-chain metrics is that there's not really a lot of buyers, which falls into my bearish thesis. I don't really want to buy. Like, you could put on a long trade here. You totally could put on a long trade here like this, you know, and the risk reward is pretty good. But, like, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, because they're looking at it now. Looking at it, yeah, maybe this isn't a terrible trade, to be honest. I feel like this might be actually a pretty solid trade. Okay, got that. Let me just, all right, there's no BTC. Now we got to go to Quant, because I love Quant, of course. So I got to check out Quant. It's currently at $93. I would love for Quant to be at 86, where I picked it up last time. I don't know if it's going to get there, but I would love it to get there, because it's a good buy zone, $86. If it does, we'll see. Let's check out the Quant against BTC chart. Okay, so the Quant against Bitcoin chart, it is at a major support right now. I mean, look at this. Wicks down in this area, major support back here, and then it came down and wicked all the way back up. That's not good. That's really not good. But it is a support. It is a support. So definitely I'm gonna buy right here. I'm gonna buy my quant. Okay, based off of the Bitcoin chart because it's at the support. Maybe it'll fall a little bit. So I bought some. I'm definitely buying some here. You know, it could fall another. It could fall another. Let's say 7%, 7%. Damn. I really want to buy it at 89. Regardless, what I'll do is I'll set a sell limit order just in case at $113, right underneath the 38.2. If we get a big bounce. So this will be where I'm gonna. Okay, so moving on, we have Cardano, aka ADA, and we had the big $1 region that was the support that broke down below the support, you know, right over there, and then had this monstrous week and closed above it and traded above it, and then finally closed down below it. And so now Cardano is below the lows and doesn't really look like there's anything down here. So the next major support level is honestly all the way down here. Like this is literally the next major support for Cardano. So that's pretty far down. That's another 40% drop from where we're. So the question is, are we going to stay within this range-ish area? And that happens a lot where there's a range. It happens a lot where there's a range, fake breakdown, followed by a break up into the range. So honestly, this does not seem like a terrible play to me to buy this right here, try to sell it here and here with a stop loss down there. That's a possibility for sure. I think checking the Cardano against Bitcoin chart could also give some good insight. So I had it set out to buy right there, check, and then the next buy is down here. So it's more like here. This is where I want to buy Moonbag for Cardano. But like just seeing how bad everything looks, I could also see it coming down here. And so I will have two Moonbag buys for Cardano right there and right there. Yeah, personally, I don't like how it broke below the 61.8 and then got rejected from it again. I don't like this based off the Fibonacci. So I would rather wait on Cardano, even when it comes to this level right here, and this possible long position on Cardano. I don't know. I still don't like it. I don't want to do it. No, because the Bitcoin pairing is not. I don't like the way the Bitcoin pairing is. I would much rather buy a little bit of Cardano down here and then some right here. And I'm going to be looking at the Bitcoin pairs with way more weight than I'm going to be looking at the USDT pairs. That's absolutely for sure. Okay, so the next coin that I want to look at is Solana. Oh my God, I am going to short this and make a lot of money because this chart right here, like this chart looks fairly bad. It doesn't look good. I'll tell you that much. It looks fairly bad, right? Okay. So that's like, I'm pretty certain it'll come down to at least, $63, right? However, look at the Bitcoin chart. Look at Solana against Bitcoin. And if you're a TA, if you know technical analysis, you'll look at this and you'll just be like, wow, this coin is going to dip hard. Like, I can't even express it. If so, I would be so surprised if Solana moves up, like goes up significantly. I would, yeah, no, no, I don't even think it's gonna bounce from the 50, like maybe a little bit, but like 27%. I give this an easy 27% fall against Bitcoin, which means that against USD or USTD, it's going to go real hard. It's going to go down significantly. So I have a short position. I'm gonna just lower my short position down, like down there, because yeah, I'm just gonna be shorting. I'm literally just gonna short Solana, like, as I'm this entire zone. I'm just gonna short it. There's nothing else to say. Short Solana until $63. There you go, 63. Closing out my short there. That's it. I'm not gonna buy. Am I gonna buy here? No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna buy there anymore. I was a big fan of Solana. Not the biggest fan of Solana anymore. I will buy some at 55 though, just because, you know, you gotta buy it at 55 at the 78.6. So yeah, shorting Solana down to $63 for sure, and gonna add to my position all the way up to. It could go all the way up to $100. I don't care. I'm gonna be adding to my short. All right. So the next up, we got BNB, and BNB is actually looking pretty good. Not like it's not looking good as in I think it's going to go up, because it's in between this range, and I'm not gonna buy or sell or do anything when it's in the middle. But I'm just looking at it, especially against Bitcoin, and like look at how well it's done against Bitcoin. It's still up drastically, like incredibly up against BTC. So good for Binance Coin. Binance Coin has outperformed Bitcoin. Very hard to do, but it's up over 7,000%. It was up over 8,000% against BTC at one point. Man, I wish I just got into BNB and just held BNB and just forgot about it. That would have been pretty damn nice to be up 11,900%. Definitely would have been nice. But yeah, it's definitely a big one. Obviously, if it comes down here, this is where I want to buy it. Maybe I'll do a little scalping right here at 339, and I'll just do a little scalp, get in, get out. But I really want it to come down to 265 to get in, and I think that 265 is a really good buy zone for Binance Coin. As for Dogecoin, which is the next coin up on the list, I would still really like to get in at just about 9 cents, just under 10 cents, so 0.0988. Love to get in down here because I think that it starts to get to be pretty undervalued down here for Dogecoin. Like obviously this entire area around 5 cents is pretty damn good. Not sure if it'll get there though, so I will start stacking in around at around 9 cents for sure. And looking at the Doge Bitcoin chart, you could see it still has a ways to go down to get to my ideal buy zone. But even underneath that, this is a pretty good level against BTC. So I almost want it to come down here before I buy. I will place green box in right here to be cognizant of the fact that like it can totally come down here. So I'll say if it gets down here again, buy it and forget about it. And that's just what I'm gonna say about Dogecoin. And so that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm going to keep on making videos and just continue making more videos. And yeah, I will try to make a video every single day this month. That's my plan. We'll see if I could do it. I'll see you in the next one.